Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to tonight's training session, which is all about early sales opportunities. This is going to be an interactive session in terms of you working through some of the questions that I want to ask you, or if you are not a new partner, maybe you considering a team member that you would want to think about those questions with. So the whole focus of this training session is all about early sales opportunities. So if you are a brand new partner, please do give us a little whoop in the chat. I am Lucy and I am the Head of Sales and Business Development for Usborne Community Partnerships, and I'm joined by one of our lovely leaders, Lizzy. So I am going to just run through a few facts about early sales in the business, get you to do an exercise, and then Lizzy is going to talk through her experience and kind of ideas and inspiration for early sales. Lizzy is a team leader with a team that she supports. She is constantly bringing new members into her team and supporting them through their own early sales. So she really does know, I'm going to make her nervous now, she really does know what she's talking about, and I think we'll have some great ideas and inspiration for you. So the first thing I wanted to go through with you was our sales incentives, because I think it's very important to know what you can get out of this business. And I do think incentives are a key part of this business. So if you are brand new, the first incentive I would suggest you all go for is your sales starter. So if you have literally just joined, or you're watching this back and you've just joined, this is the first thing that I think you should go for. So if you place a £150 order in your first 2 weeks, you will be active on the system, which is exciting. That's a big tick. And you will be able to unlock our free books and benefits package. So if your order is less than £150, you're missing out on reduced postage, you're missing out on free books. So you should definitely make sure your orders are over £150, and you'll get your nice little sales starter pack in the post. If you are hitting £250, you are entered into our monthly 250 Club prize draw. And if you do £250 every month after joining, you get put into an overall prize pot to win an exciting day out in Oxford. £500 is your sales builder. If you're in your first 6 weeks, £500 would get you your sales builder, which is a nice pack of books in the post to you, so extra books for your stock and to sell. £1,000 in your first 10 weeks gets you sales champion and a refund on the cost of your starter kit, which means you've started your business for free, which I think is an amazing thing to say. £1,200 is something to keep a close eye on, because if your sales exceed £1,200, you will receive personal sales bonus, which means your commission goes up for a school order from 20% to 22%, or for a party order from 24% to 26%. And that extra 2% is on all the sales, not just the sales that are over that £1,200. So again, if you are someone where you've sold over £1,000, try and push yourself to that extra 200, because you should be earning that extra 2%, and it will make a difference to the amount of money you're earning. There are also 4 categories out of the 8 categories for our achievement awards that are based on sales. So you could be winning an exciting treat day in London and visit to publishing. And for the travel incentive, which the next destination is Vietnam, which I would say is an absolute bucket list destination. Every pound you sell is a point for travel. So if you are someone that is competitive, or you really want to go to Vietnam, every pound of books you are selling is a step closer to that dream holiday. So there are loads and loads of incentives. And if you're looking at that thinking, I don't even know where to start, there's too many of these, I don't know what I want to go for, the number one person you need to be talking is your mentor, to work out what's the best options for you, what do you not want to miss out on, and what do you need to do to just make the most of everything available to you. Because if the more you know, the more successful you'll be, and the more you'll make sure you really maximize all the opportunities available to you. So lots of people, when they first start, want to know what you have to do to earn a certain amount of money. So if you are looking at real basic, how much do you have to sell to earn a certain amount of money? This isn't an exact science because there were like pence involved, but I've just rounded. This is based on party orders. So this is based on 24% commission, not 20% commission, which you get from school orders. So these are just some basic earning examples. So if in your head you think if you had an extra £50 a month, actually that would make a huge difference to you because maybe it would enable you to have, I don't know, a takeaway, a couple of takeaways a month, or maybe it would pay for your kids' swimming lessons, or maybe it would pay for you to have a guilt-free treat every month, or maybe it would help you with your council tax or your water bill or your gas and electricity or whatever it might be. You would need to sell £209 of books a month to earn that £50. If you wanted to earn £100, you would need to sell £417 of books. And you can see the rest, 200, 834, 500. Oh, I've realised that says sakes, not sales. Never mind. Sales of 1,925. The important thing to note for the £500, because your sales would be over £1,200, you would be earning 26% commission on them, not 24. So that's where that calculations come from. If you are brand new, it's not just selling you can do with your Usborne business. You could grow your own team, just as Lizzy has done, just as your mentor has done. And if you do that, you will also earn an extra 6% on your sales. So if you are someone that is financially driven, or you think, do you know what I really could do with earning this amount every month? Speak to your mentor because there are so many ways that you can get that money, and it is really worth just maximizing the commission plan, maximizing what Usborne can offer you. And don't be afraid to talk about money. That's what your mentor is there for you to set goals and for them to help you achieve them. And they will be able to give you a guide as to, okay, if you want to sell £209 of books because you need to earn 50 quid, these are the most likely events where you're going to sell them, or these books are going to be easier for you to sell than others. So you're going to make those sales volumes up more quickly. So that is the whole point of your mentor, is for you to aim high, dream big, and their job is to help you get that and to achieve your goals. So I now would love you to work through the following exercise, which is all based on early sales opportunities and how you are going to get yourself to the goal that you want to achieve. So the first thing that I want you to do, you don't have to put this in the chat, just on a bit of paper, on the notes section of your phone, whatever you've got access to, is to identify what you want to earn. Because I think if you don't have a financial goal, it is really easy just to drift and to not do anything, or to not kind of strive to push yourself further. So write down now, what do you want to earn each month? And more importantly, what would that money allow you to do or have? So it's your choice, it's your money, it's your goal. It's not up to anyone else. Nothing you want is silly or frivolous or unimportant. So if you want something and you know what that would cost you each month, Usborne is the thing that will help you to get that. And it might be something like a takeaway. It might be actually to help you cope with the increase in your energy bills. It might be something for your children. It might be a treat. Whatever it might be, that's important because it's important to you. And I want you to work out how non-negotiable is this. So actually, if you've said you need an extra 50 quid each month, could you live without that 50 quid? And if you could, do you want to live without that 50 quid? Because treats are just important as anything else. And that's the whole point of Usborne, that you can earn what you want to have the things you want or need in life. So hopefully you've got an amount that you want to earn each month. Step 2 is, what time have you got to achieve that? And I think it is important to note that in the first stages of your business, you will need to spend more time to earn money than your mentor might need to do to earn money, because they will have spent years building up a portfolio of events that they go to, and they'll have a customer base. So you need to kind of honestly think now, what time do you have available to spend on your business? So could you do one Saturday a month and know that every month you will do an event on a Saturday? Could you do a morning every week at a baby and toddler group? Could you grow a customer base online and dedicate a couple of hours each night to building a relationship with that and sharing content? How far can you travel to events? Because there's no point booking stuff in that's an hour away if you can't do that traveling. And also consider the time. So the event is not just doing the event. Selling books online is not just posting the picture of the book. There's kind of time around it. So if you are being honest, you want to earn a certain amount. What time have you got to help you earn that amount? Okay, step 3. You know what you want to earn. You know what time you can put into this. Now it's time to consider, who do you know? Because what I will say to you is your friends and family, they might buy from you a few times, but they are not going to be the people that are generating all your sales. So who do you know that works in a school, that's child goes to a school, that is a teacher of your child at school? Who do you know who's a baby and toddler group leader, or who has a child that goes to a baby and toddler group? Who do you know in your community? So are there any independent businesses where you know the owners of them, or you go there for a coffee and you could talk to them? I've just put a few suggestions down, but everyone will know someone that has a connection with someone that might want to buy books. So have a think about who you know and write a list. See if you can get to 5 connections in your local community that fit with any of the things above or anything else. Okay, your next step is, you're not going to be able to do this. Well, you might be able to do this now, is to secure your bookings. The key thing here is you are going to need to follow up. It is highly unlikely you will send one email and that's it, you've booked an event. If you phone someone, it's a bit harder for them to ignore you unless you have to leave a voice message, in which case then you are going to have to follow up. Remember, you are not, dog. Remember, you're not following up is not irritating people, it's not pestering them. It's that you know what you are offering them is beneficial to them, and therefore it is worth you following up with them. Have a look at the host benefits online that you can offer people for working with you. And remember that actually the benefits might not be financial. Like, you might not need to offer someone a free book, or if you sell over £150, the £15 in free books for them. It might actually be that you being at their setting is a tick for Ofsted if it's a school or nursery. It might be that it's promoting them as someone that's interested in literacy and learning and supporting their local community. So think about what is in it for that person, and that's what you're following them up with. So a collaboration with an independent cafe shows them as kind of like a community hotspot for learning, building relationships, that they care about the people in their community. I don't know, a collaboration with a brownie group, again, shows that they care. about the girls' education or their interest outside of school and fostering those and kind of this concept of lifelong learning. Think about your stock. So, are you doing an event where people are going to be coming and going and therefore want to buy there and take it away? Or are you doing an event where the same people go there every week, so they'd be fine to wait until the next week for their books to be ordered? Consider again your travel time. So make sure it's realistic. Don't book events that are really far away from you that you can't travel to. And use your mentor. If you get a booking or people aren't replying to you or you're following up and you're getting nowhere, use your mentor. Show them what you're sending to businesses so that they can help you shape it so you can get your diary full of bookings. Then you need to get selling. So you've got your event book, you've turned up there. The biggest thing I would say is taking the right books to the event. So there are loads of training sessions available on Tools and Downloads about the best-selling books out there. There are some that are specific to different types of events, so you ensure you take the right books to the right events. For example, if you went to a baby and toddler group, you're not going to sell loads of fiction at that baby and toddler group, but you would sell lots of don't tickles and lights and sound books. This is where your mentor comes in as well. Use them for all their worth and pick their brains on which books they think you are most likely to sell at that event. What do they think it's worth you investing in? Look at your own bookshelves, your kids' bookshelves. If you're taking orders, have those books as display copies that people can take orders through. Take your catalogue with you and use that to get those initial orders. Remember that all you are doing is asking questions. Hi, how old are your children? What are they interested in? What do you like doing together? Are you looking for an activity book? Would you like more of a story? And then people effectively tell you what they want and do your job for you. Don't shy away from high price point books. I'm sure lots of the people I can see on this call will tell you people are more likely to spend £13 on a Don't Tickle book than they are to spend £7 on a That's Not My book, because it will last their child longer. People are happy to spend £20, I know Lizzy sells loads of them, on a wind-up book. That is a game, a toy, as well as a book. So don't shy away from the books that cost more money, because your customer, if they want them, will pay that money. If they don't want them, they won't. And again, talk to your mentor about your crowd pleasers, your lights and sound books, your wind-ups, your don't tickles that will draw people in. They'll like the novelty of it and they'll want to buy it from you. Step 6 is repeat bookings. So if you've booked in with a baby and toddler group, can you do them again in 3 months' time? Can it be a monthly thing? If you work with a school, can you work with them the following term or the following year? If you've done a pop-up in a local cafe, can it become a monthly thing? Don't book an event just once and then move away from that event, which I'm hoping Lizzy's going to talk about, because repeat bookings are your best friend. Form connections with groups, with chains, with franchises, with academy trusts. And once you've got those events booked in, you then won't have to spend all the time finding them again, because you've already got them and you can use them again and again. Step 7 is keep trying. So if you do an event and it doesn't go very well, don't worry about it. Don't give up. Learn from your mistakes. Was it that you did an event and it was the week before payday, so no one had any money to buy any books? Was it that you did an event, but actually there weren't many people at the event, so even if they'd wanted to buy your books, there just weren't enough of them to buy it? Or did you do an event, but you just didn't quite have the right books? That's fine. Everyone's going to have bad events. It's just how you learn from it and move on. And maybe you just didn't like the format. Maybe the event didn't suit you and you'll find a different way of selling. And I think always check back on your progress against your initial financial goal. If you said you want to earn £50 a month, you know you need to sell just over £200 of books to do that. Keep a track of that. So how much have you sold this month? Has it achieved your financial goal? If it hasn't, right, what else could you try? What other events could you do? Which other customers could you find on social media? What fundraisers could you do? And don't give up until you achieve that goal, because you set that amount out for a reason and it's important to you. Okay, next up, I wanted to share with you some actual figures from this year of what new partners who have joined in 2025 have sold, because I think it's helpful for you to know what people are selling that have only just started their business. So these are the top 10 sales in January for people that joined in January 2025. You will see the top one was a school order for nearly £4,000. This would have earned that person £835 in commission. The orders then go down after that, but bear in mind, this is people that have only joined that month and sold. Don't know which number you put down, but hopefully you will be able to see that whatever number you wrote down initially as what you wanted to earn, people who started their business this year have earned that through their sales. I've also divided them up by school and party so you could see what type of events were generating these sales. This was February. So this might have been people that joined in January and this is what they did in February. They also could have joined in February. I haven't made that distinction, but they are people that are brand new partners. So again, all of them earn over £200 in commission. They have only just started their business. So don't feel like just because you've just started, you can't achieve anything. This was March. So again, some really, really brilliant orders. March is always good because it's World Book Day. So if you get on top of that with schools and nurseries, you are going to be really successful. But again, if anyone put down they wanted to earn £1,000, someone who had just joined in this year earned that through their sales in March. So you can achieve absolutely anything in this business, and you can achieve it quickly if you're booking the right events, taking the right books, and using your mentor effectively. So the final few things I want to show you before I hand over to Lizzy. These were the best-selling series of 2024, just in case you are brand new and you're wondering which books sold best. Not necessarily the titles, I've just grabbed any old title, but these were the series. So you've got Magic Painting, you've got That's Not My. That's always going to sell well because it's a really well-known series. Magic Painting, I think, just flies out everywhere. Little First Stickers, the Minis series, First Sticker Book, the Poppy and Sam series in general, the Usborne Beginners series. I know we've got a few fans of that I can see on this training session. Sound books, Peep Inside books, See Inside books. So you've mainly got activity books and fact books. Little Sticker Dolly dressing and Sticker Dolly dressing, so more stickers. Very first question and answers, book and jigsaw, little board books, the phonics readers set, first Magic Painting, so that goes alongside the Magic Painting, picture books, so this is just an example of one of those, the 100 Things to Know series, sport was the best-selling one, and fingerprint activities. So these were the top 20 best-selling series of last year, but again, your mentor would be able to give you accurate examples of which events you're going to and what has sold really well for them. So I want to leave you with this thought, which is the sooner you start the journey, the sooner you'll reach your destination. So think of your destination as what you want to earn in a month. The sooner you get out there and get events booked and get selling, the sooner you will get that money and you'll start being able to have the things that you want and need in life. So I'm going to hand over to Lizzy now, who I don't know if you can unmute yourself. Oh, you can. Excellent.
Yeah.
And I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to spotlight you, Lizzy.
Oh, how exciting. Thank you. Oh, there I am.
Over to you, Lizzy.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So yeah, Lucy's asked me to talk about early opportunities with sales. It is best to hit the ground running, and I encourage my team, my people that join me, to do one of three things to launch their business. Start a party. If you've got friends and family are brilliant. They're brilliant as first customers. I wouldn't rely on them all the time because they'll run out of money and they'll be, really poor if they're buying your books all the time. So yeah, do a launch party. This can be done virtually or you can do it in person. I like to do in-person events. And my friends and family are, suckers for cake. So if I invite them around to my house for cake and for a book party, then they will be there. And these are really good ways to get your first active order. If if you're not wanting to do a party, then I would say look for a book is a great start, as well as a community book pledge. These are something you could talk to your mentor about. It's contacting local businesses to get donations for either a look for a book, so you can pay for the books to be you hide the books. The businesses buy the books and you hide them around your local area, or do a community book pledge for a local children's charity, hospital, a school, something along those lines. Again, contacting businesses. Also, a good thing to do with friends and family is start a adult book club. I've got a lot of mum friends and they are very keen to do my monthly book club, which gives me £150 order guaranteed every month. So if you do a launch party, a book club is great to follow on. You can advertise that on there. You can also advertise that with your community book pledge and look for a book as well. You can advertise a adult book club, because we've got some fantastic young adult fiction. Not only the young adult fiction, but the other younger middle grade fiction as well is really good. And we read a variety of that in our book club. Then I would advise sort of looking where you want to sell. Where do you see yourself wanting to sell the books? I love a toddler group. And when I first started, my daughter was actually young enough to go to toddler groups. So she was there anyway. And I just asked if I could have a stall there. And they just flowed. And while we were there, I just had a small pop-up bookshop in the corner, played with my daughter, and people came over and bought books, and that was really good. And I've still got those contacts with those toddler groups now. In fact, since my daughters are both at school, that side of my business has grown because it's something I can do while they're at school and go out to toddler groups. You don't necessarily need a child to be there. The same as baby groups as well. I didn't start my business when I had a baby. I started when my daughters were 5 and 2.5. But I've got lots of baby groups now that I work with too, and it's quite repetitive. I do 3 toddler groups a month, and also I try to do a baby group a month as well, which is good fun. It gets me out of the house and also gets me talking to other adults as well, and talking to those who may want to start their own Usborne bookshop too. So it's good just to get out and talk to people. In the meantime, it's good to, as I said, hit the ground running. To get those bigger orders, if you want to build your school's business, a great place to start is nurseries. Contacting nurseries, I find quite easy. You can go into the nursery. If you put together a school pack and go into the nursery and talk to them about what you'd like to offer. I like to offer ready, steady listens. I feel that they get a lot of value out of that, a lot of new books, plus the free book allowance. They always go down really well. I try and keep them seasonal. So if it was World Book Day, I would advertise it as a World Book Day ready, steady listen. We've got World Book Night coming up as well. So I have got ones that are for World Book Night. And ready, steady listens are a really great way for them to get books. And also they can be really easy to get annual events from as well, because children eat books and they always need new books at nurseries and they don't get any funding for books. So nurseries are great. you can go in directly into them. 9 times out of 10, you will see the manager or the person that makes the decisions, or you can phone them up. I've got no problem making phone calls. I know that a lot of people do struggle with the phone, but if you can ring them, do. It is really a great way. And again, the person you were talking to at the other end of the phone, 9 times out of 10, is the person that does make the decisions. Again, follow them up. With emails you can do, but I would never make a initial contact with a nursery or a school by email. Again, schools. So nurseries are quite good to get into straight away. Schools are a bit of hard work. You can work at them for a while. So with schools, you can contact them in many different ways. And it's all about just getting your foot in the door with a school. Once you're in, then it can lead to so many other things. So we've got summer fairs coming up at the moment, and they are a great way. So contact PTAs, see if they would like a stall, and then for their summer fete, and then or inflatable days or things like that. They can lead on to other things such as book fairs and ready steady reads as well. So it's about finding the right person at the school. If you know somebody goes to that school, then also that helps. You can give them a pack. And always follow up with schools. They are something that takes some time, but don't ever give up. Keep with your follow-ups with schools. I have a school that I work with now. We do 2 book fairs and 1 ready steady read, and that's throughout the year. So they do 1 thing a term with me, which is fabulous. Plus I do their summer fete as well. There are other schools that I work with as well, but as I say, it's not instant working with schools. You do have to take some time with that. Stalls. Now, as I said, that you have got a summer fete, so it's coming up. May Day as well. I find a stall on May Day. It's one of my biggest stalls that I do. It's a village stall, so the whole village get out for May Day, and it is really, really successful. Again, I've said about the school fetes as well. They're really good. Family fun days. Always try and look at the amount of children that are going to be at the events, because that sort of goes hand in hand. I have done craft fairs. I've tried everything, but I found that craft fairs have never been very successful for me. You may find differently, but my advice is if you do an event and you find it's a bit rubbish, then just don't do it again. And yeah, move and find something else to do. But I find if there's going to be a lot of children there, if there is inflatables, if there is entertainment for children as well, then I do quite well with those. Yeah, as I said, the lessons that I've learned regarding events is that I just knock them out. If they're not successful, I'll give it a go and knock it on the head. But I found generally it's craft stores that I do have an issue with. Cost of stores as well. Now, a lot of my toddler groups I find they actually don't charge me anymore, which is really nice because I've been working with them for so long. But initially, and I would never pay any more than £10 for a toddler stall, or give them that value in books. If they've got children themselves, they could quite like the books, and then you can use those in your free book allowance. So doesn't actually cost you anything to be there. So I felt that was a good negotiation. I wouldn't pay more than £50 for a stall either. I know there are big events, and they can charge quite a lot, but it is a gamble. There was an event near me that was a 3-day event, and it was huge, and it's always has been, but they were charging £100 a day for a stall, and I said I can't do it. I was contemplating it, but I thought I can't do it. Well, I was really glad that I didn't do it, because the storms hit last year and nobody actually turned up to this event, so it wouldn't have worked. I would have been a lot of money down on that one. So it is weighing it up and looking at different factors. Outside stalls, it's nice to know if they've got a contingency plan, if the weather's going to be bad. So at schools, you can usually find that the schools actually move the events inside, which is great. I did do a village this last Christmas, and again, that was when the storms were, and they actually managed the whole village pulled together and put everything indoors, which was brilliant. And it was really arranged really well, and the village, and it was still advertised quite highly as well, and everybody still came out to that. So it is nice to see sort of if you know local communities and how they work, that does help too. Um, so what else was I going to say? Yes, about contingency plans. So yes, initially, what I would say is start with a party. If you're not confident in doing a party, go with a look for a book or a community book pledge, and they are really good. So just speak to your mentor about that. They can give you some advice on those. And then after that, focus on where you want to take your business. If you want to build a schools business, start with nurseries. If you want to build maybe a community book pledge business, once you've done one, and you could get the bug for that. I have a team member that just does those, which is great, and it works for her. And it means that she works mostly online as well. She doesn't really go out and do events. So it is working out where you want to go. I do a lot of face-to-face selling, and I love it, but I need to go out to see people because I'm not great in my own company at home. So yes, it is good to get out there, and it's good to do a mixture as well of face-to-face selling and online selling too. Anyway, I think that's it. I don't know if anybody's got any questions or anything. I can't think of anything else to say.
Um, so I've seen a couple of questions in the chat. If anyone else has any more questions for Lizzy, please do put them in. Apologies, my daughter has had a nightmare, so
Oh no.
why she's now present. So if you are new and you're ever worried about your children turning up for things, that is unfortunately just part of life. So we, hooray, have 3 new partners, which is very exciting in here. Actually, Lizzy, this isn't a question, it's a statement from Simon, but I'm going to turn it into a question.
Okay.
Where would you go to earn £100 in commission a month? So what events do you think would get you that £100 a month?
As I do toddler groups, I would do probably 3 of those a month. That would get me £100 commission, or a ready steady listen with a nursery, definitely without fail, to get that easily.
And which books would you take with you to a baby and toddler group that you think you're most likely to sell?
Wind ups and like activity books, so the magic painting, sticker books, the little stickered books, not the big ones. I don't sell many big ones, but they're like the little sticker dolly books. They're really good, or the children's first sticker books, um, magic wand books, and yeah, sound books. They are probably my biggest sellers, but wind ups all the way. I always have a full set of wind ups.
Again, not a question, but a statement. So, like I said, I started on the 14th of February, but I'm really struggling with sales. I guess it'd be useful to know where you've tried selling, because it could just be that you've not tried the right places. What would you tell your team if someone said the same thing to you, that they're struggling with sales? What would your advice be?
Again, I would look at seeing where they've been, what they've done. If I mean, a look for a book is a great place to start, to go out to businesses, even places that you go to normally. If you're out for a meal, you can ask for a donation while you're there, and things like that. So I would look at doing a look for a book, but I would need to know more of where she's been, or what we've been up to, if that makes sense.
And I would say, generally speaking, obviously, Lizzy, you've talked about craft fairs being a no-go zone. But other than that, you've got to be quite unlucky, I would say, to have a face-to-face event and not sell anything.
Yes, I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, our books are brilliant. They're beautiful. And if you've got, as I say, focus on children events, that's where you want to be. Also, if there's lots of grandparents there with their children, that also helps a lot too.
There's a question that says, when you do a stall, how many books do you tend to sell on the day versus online sales after the event? And do you take orders on the day or direct people to your website instead?
I sell from my stock. So I do have quite a lot of stock that I take with me. If it's a toddler group and it's a themed event, then I'll take books that are themed. At the moment, it's Easter, so I'll have Easter books with me, so they're relevant to people. I always have a stack of wind-ups, as I say, and Easter books at the moment. Orders, yes, I do take orders. And actually, it's quite common for me to take orders too. People, because I've become known for being at certain events, people know that they can order books from me and then they pick them up when I'm next there, which is great. I don't direct people to my website. I feel that I can get them lost there. So I take the orders on the day while they're there. I wouldn't I don't feel comfortable sending them to my website because I feel I could lose them. They might not go home and, order that book.
And I've been at an event with a partner where people have ordered from her and she's actually ordered the delivery to their house. It was in the run up to Christmas. You can do that as well, can't you? You can take the order, the delivery money as well, and
yes,
order.
and I do that if I'm at an event that's not local to me. If I'm going somewhere where I'm not going to go again in sort of the next month, then I would directly get it delivered to them.
I guess a question for you, Lizzy. How many boxes of books would you take to your baby and toddler group?
3.
Okay.
And I have they are, oh gosh, if I get this wrong, it's going to be really bad. I think they're 60 litres. Does that sound about right? 45 litres? I don't know. They're about that big. Can't see my bottom hand. And yes, I have 3. So I have 1 box of wind-ups, 1 box of themed books, and generally like an activity box with magic painting and stick books in.
Question is, how often would you run a look for a book or a community book pledge?
Community book pledge. I'm not an expert on community book pledges. I generally only do one a year, and that's one that I do every year for the same charity. But look for a book. It actually depends on how I feel. I always do one in the summer holidays without fail. It gives me my girls something to do as well, and they love hiding books around the community. At the moment, I don't know if you've got these in your areas, but we've got Beat the Street that's popped up. Our councillors put Beat the Street, so they've got my children call them Let's Go Beatboxing. And we're hiding them around there at the moment, and they seem to be good places to hide books. So you can do it the weekends, you can do it any school holidays. It's any time that suits you, really. You can do them just for a day. You could advertise it that you're just hiding them for a certain day, or you can hide them like I do sporadically around the village when you've got some free time. I've also now got a little community of people that hide the books too, because children love hiding books. And the mums come to my house and collect some books that then their children hide in the holidays too.
That's really lovely. Again, this isn't so much a question, but I'm going to form it as a question. Lucy was talking about like ideas and reigniting slow months. If someone feels like they're having a slow month, what would you advise them to do, Lizzy, to get some sales? What do you think are the quickest ways you could book in an event or generate some sales?
The quickest way I'd say is look for a book is the quickest way to generate sales. And that's my experience. Or, Facebook Messenger is great for contacting local toddler groups. So see if they've got any events going on. You can just sit on your phone scrolling through different toddler groups and seeing if they've got any events coming up. At the moment, it is Easter coming up, so there are a lot of events coming around the corner. Literally, we're on top of Easter, aren't we? So Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of opportunities out there when you are having quiet months. I mean, winter can be quite quiet, but you will find that's when toddler groups are really busy because nobody wants to be outside. Everybody wants to be inside, and they still need to entertain their children. Soft play as well is great for winter months. May, July is great for outdoor events and school fetes. It's just contacting different avenues. Really, schools are great for fairs this time of year.
There's a follow-up question about Look for Book and community book pledges, and a concern about asking businesses over and over again to sponsor it. So, how often would you approach the same business?
I try and approach the business once a year. Yeah, I mean, we have got a lot of building development going on around our area at the moment. I think they're building houses everywhere, aren't they? And they are being very generous in their donations for my Look for Books. So I have held off some of the books that I've purchased and then just sort of hiding them over a longer period of time. Um, but yeah, I generally once a year I ask the same businesses. I would contact those larger business like building companies. They are really quite generous in their donations. Usually about £100 a time at least that you get from them. So that's a lot of books that you can hide.
And I guess thinking about it as well, like businesses can offset charitable donations against tax, or they'll have a charity pot, depending on the size. Even if it's a small independent business, they'll be able to offset that charity donation against tax. So, and then it gets their name out there as well. Like you are benefiting them. What's in it for them? Their name is going everywhere as someone that's brought books into the community.
I mean, I have a cafe that contacts me when they want me to go out and hide some books. So I just say, yeah, can you give me your money and I'll go.
Because it's a much cheaper way of advertising their business
It
than a lot
is.
of other things they could do.
It is because it's all on the book plate that I put inside the book. So yeah.
Um, Next question is, what advice would you give to someone who can't or doesn't want to do a lot of face-to-face events?
Well, that is where I would look for a community book pledge. They are great for working offline. Again, on Ready Steady Listens, Ready Steady Reads at schools. They're not face-to-face events. You can do those completely virtually if you wanted to. Just speak to your mentor about those, I would say.
I think the one thing I would say with face to face is going to be a much quicker way of you selling books. So it's going to be a much more time effective way of you selling books. So I think I'd just be aware that the time it will take you to sell the same amount of books online will be more than the time it would take you to sell those books in person. But if time is actually not a problem for you, then you focus on growing your customer base, doing competitions to grow your customer base, looking at, can you do things virtually rather than in person? I think if you have time, so it's more that you can't get to the events but you have time to work online, then that would be the thing. But I think, I would say often people think they're not successful at selling because they're selling online, and it does just take a lot more time to develop your online sales strategy than it would to do it face to face. But that's not to say that you can't at all, because some people are very successful online.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not great online. I am more of a face-to-face seller, but those when I do Ready Steady Listens, I mean, I arrange Ready Steady Listens for nurseries all over the country. I don't actually see them. I speak to the staff, I send them information over via email, and the event runs, and the books are set. They choose the books and they're sent directly to them. That is the best online strategy that I have. I do sell a few books on Facebook. I'm not going to say it's a lot, but it's not something that I've really worked towards or pushed at all.
But great advice on the Ready Steady Reads and Listens, Lizzy. So if you have contacts in nurseries or schools then utilize those. And like Lizzy said, actually, you can cold call a nursery much more easily than you can cold call a school, because remember, you're giving them quite a generous free books top up. So you're effectively donating to their sponsored read or listen, and that's why they'd want to work with you.
Yeah, and once you're in a nursery, that's it. I think every nursery that I work with every year now, which is nice. Because they have a massive turnover of books in nurseries, especially in the baby rooms. Because yeah, as I said, they eat them. So yeah.
And it's hygiene as well, isn't it? As soon as there's like a hand, foot, and mouth outbreak or an impetigo outbreak or whatever
Yeah,
it
there's that
might be.
too. Yeah, disinfecting books.
Can you explain how the host benefits work or where to find out about them? You can find out about them on the website. The website tells you, and when you're placing an order, it also tells you. The getting started workbook tells you. Your mentor will be able to tell you. But maybe you could explain, Lizzy, like how you use them when you book events or what you offer to your events.
So with the host benefits, what you can do is, I said, you can pay them in books if you want to. So your free books you can actually give to them. Um, they, what else? I mean, I advertise their businesses as well through my Facebook page, which draws more people in because I'm getting a larger following from them. But yeah, I think that's it really. I generally give out free books to them instead of actually them charging me for a stall.
So the host benefits, kind of as brief summary. So your order would have to be over £150, otherwise you don't
Yes,
access
yes,
host
sorry, yeah, of
benefits.
course it is, yeah.
Um, you get 10% in free books of your choice with that. So that would be £15 plus of books that you could offer them to choose. If you're selling from stock, you could just offer them some of the books to take there and then. There's a different host book option every few months. The host books are changed, so you could offer your customers the host books. You can get half price samples with your order, so you could offer them a brand new book. Do you vary it, Lizzy? Would you say you're ever consistent with, or do you vary it event to event? You might offer them something different.
I mean, I do a baby group, and she's got children that she just takes books off my stall to a certain to £10 value. She usually takes a couple of she usually takes like a magic painting or a sticker book or something, and a mini book as well. So she's quite a good example there. There is a nursery that I do a Christmas fair with, and if they do over a certain amount, I just when I put my order in for that, then they get the free books. They may get, if I sold over £300 worth at that event, then they would obviously get the 30% free books of their choosing. They can choose them.
And the benefits are different. So if you're doing a school order, the benefits are consistent. So the benefits are advertised on our website. So a school order, it's always the same benefits depending on what they sell generates the percentage of free books they get, and that's always the same. And I think, yeah, people do vary what they do with other groups that they work with.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it for school fairs. I don't generally offer them the free books. If it's a book fair, they would obviously get the free books. But if it was just a summer fete or something, then generally I don't give them the free books. But I do advertise, obviously, that they can get free books from the Ready Steady Reads or book fair if they want to book those through me.
Does anyone else have any other questions for Lizzy? I will try and find you the host benefits section of the website while we're talking. But Lizzy, could you maybe give some advice on what is your favourite type of event and why?
I love a toddler event, but I think it's because I miss my children being so small. But also the children get quite animated about the books. It's really nice to see. And the parents then get quite excited with their children as well. Doing a story time event is really good fun at a toddler event. Reading a book, and then obviously then the children are actually quite happy to come over to the book my bookshop and have a look through with their mums and dads, or grandparents. It's grandparents I find are very generous with their book buying. But yeah, it's got to be toddler events. I love a school event because obviously you are making a massive difference in the school. If you did do a ready steady read and a book fair, you can make quite a huge difference to their libraries. But personally, I love a toddler event.
Okay. Haven't been able to find the host benefits on our website, unhelpfully. But if you are newly joined, you're getting started. Workbook will tell you the host benefits. Tools and downloads will tell you the host benefits, and your mentor can tell you the host benefits. And if your order is over £150, when you're placing it, it will prompt you to pick the host benefits as well. So thank you so much for joining us this evening, and especially those partners who are brand new, because this session was for you guys. Thank you for joining us, mentors. I know are here because you want to support your team. And a huge thank you to Lizzy for your time this evening, for sharing so much information about what you do, so many helpful tips, ideas, lots of lovely comments about how reassuring you are, Lizzy. So hopefully this has given you confidence to just try it, give it a go. And if it doesn't work, just try something else.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop recording.